Monster morons, welcome back to the Good Guys podcast. I'm sitting here with someone whose girth is as big as his heart. It's Ben Soffer.
I didn't expect to catch a stray bullet.
I said right girth, like girth.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. It's as big. It's big.
Don't
it's
ever
meaty.
get quiet like that again.
It's meaty. It's good. Now you have everybody thinking of my Johnson.
Cut this out, Olivia. Cut it all out. We'll just start the podcast here. Hey, guys, it was weird at first, and now we're starting the podcast. No, good.
Josh, how does your penis look? Good?
Stop it. It's nuts. I said it in a cute way. You're crazy. It looks fine. It's just totally normal.
We need to talk about this T-shirt. Give us the history of the Chess Club T-shirt. Tell us where you got it.
This was a gift from my wife. It's from the fashion label Aime Lion d'Or. From, I believe it's a New York streetwear brand. I tried to go actually check out the store when I was in Soho, and there was a line outside, and they said you needed to make a reservation for the store. And because I stand on business, I went and got a slice of pizza instead. So big fan of their clothes. I do order them off the net, not from the store, not making a res.
I thought it was like merch from one of your guys. Like
I do.
Cons.
I am a chess player, so I did just love, but I don't believe the Triborough Chess Club exists.
Oh, I couldn't even see Triborough Chess Club. I couldn't see Triborough. Fantastic. I also have an Aime de Lion d'Or. Is that what it is? Aime de Lion d'Or?
Aime Lion d'Or.
Aime de Lion d'Or. I once went into their store. Nothing fit.
Yeah, I get
nothing
that.
fit. It's just like it's those brands, and I haven't been since I have shed a couple of pounds. But
you
like,
really
there was
look
always
svelte.
there was that classic brand, Paul Smith, ring a bell. I'd try their shirts. A medium, like the XL is a medium.
Well, it's a British cut.
Yeah, it's no good. I don't like the British cut. I don't even like the British.
You haven't lived till you've worn a triple XL Gucci shirt like I have.
I have plenty of triple XL Gucci sweatshirts. It's fantastic.
Speaking of high-end fashion, did you go to any Fashion Week events over the last month, Ben?
I did. I actually went to plenty, and one of them was really, really sick, and the rest of them were
Really?
You just pop in, you take a picture, you leave. But we went to this one event, Cynthia Rally. And Cynthia is a friend, and this event was so cool. It was on the river. She got like 25 Cadillacs, Josh, and used their lights. It was at night. Used the lights, the headlights from the Cadillacs to light the show.
Cool.
It was sick. And
cool.
It also, it was like cool to just to be cool, be there. Cool celeb, just like with celeb passes, just like doing celeb things. Like, it is what it is.
I have a hard time because I don't want to do any of those things ever for the rest of my life. But my wife, who isn't that way, is normal. And so she can appreciate a one-off cool event here and there. And she wants to go.
So next New York Fashion Week, you come. We'll do it together. The kids will figure it out. I don't yet have a plan for them. But honestly, it's cool to be like a young, hip family that brings your 6-year-old to a Fashion Week event. We'll dress him head to toe in Prada.
I know, that would be sick. But I don't think it's cool to bring kids to grown-up things at all.
No, me neither. I think it's terrible. Sucks.
I went to Paris Fashion Week. And
wow. Whoa. That's the big one.
Yeah, babe. Yeah.
That's sick.
NBD.
What was it like?
It was cool. First of all, there was a lot of pressure on what I was going to wear. And I am not a fashionista, but I had a really good, like, European cut Ralph Lauren purple label suit that I wore. With a cool shirt underneath. Who knows? And we went to like 2 fashion shows, a couple parties. The worst, and I'll never forget, Paige and I had just got engaged, and we spent the whole night out. And we're at this party, and we're at some like Saudi, rich kids table, random, like someone like brought us over. And we're sitting there and they're handing out glasses of champagne. And they go to cheers, and, you know, sober Sally over here doesn't know what to do with his arms. So everyone goes to, like, take a swig of the champagne, and I'm like, yeah. And I smack the back of the champagne into my wife's mouth, and she literally, I'm talking drenched, like, boosh, like a wave of champagne just drenches her. And I'm like, oh, this cannot be fixed. Like, we need to go. And she's all done up and she looked incredible. And I was like, in that moment, I'm like, maybe she calls off the engagement.
Yeah, that's bad, Josh. That's no good. The truth is, the way that you set it up, I thought you like broke 3 of her front teeth. So like the delivery, it softened the blow. I was like, oh my God, he pushed this fucking champagne flute into her front teeth. And she's toothless with the Saudi prince. That's the name of this episode. Toothless with the Saudi prince.
It was not hot. And then we went to Italy the next day and they lost all our luggage. And so it basically like, it was a kind of a 1-2 punch.
That's unfortunate. When it rains, it pours. Why is it like that, Josh? Why, when one bad thing happens, there's another. And why, on the flip side, when it's good, oh, it's good. Why is that?
I've heard this said before, and you can tell me what you think about this one, young Ben. A good day is when everything goes your way, and you have a great mood about it. A great day is when nothing goes your way, and you still keep that great mood. Thoughts?
That is incredibly losery. No, I think it's good perspective. It's important. It's important to stay, I like to say, staying even-keeled. Never getting too high, never getting too low. Just floating in here, I think, is best. Speaking of floating, this past week, Josh, I don't know if you've noticed, because I've complained incessantly about it on Instagram, the sun had not been out for the last 8 days in New York. We're talking 0. You wake up in the dark. I don't remember the last time that this happened. 0. And it really affected my mood. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was lethargic. I was, dare I say, a little bit sad. It was very strange. I was having a very weird reaction to the lack of sun. And the sun came out this morning, and dare I say, I almost cried. I literally looked at the sun. I couldn't have appreciated the sun more if I tried. My mood, I don't know if you can tell, I am chipper today. I am fantastic. I'm awake. I'm happy. And I'm also thinking that maybe I have a slight mental disorder.
You being sad would really scare me because you are just at a resting joy and you're stoked on bowling or just like kind of the good things that life has to offer. That being said, I've never been more convinced now more than ever that you live in a cesspool of misery and you cannot wrestle happiness out of that unforgiving place that you live. And I think you need to take a sojourn and live somewhere else for a while. I feel that deeply.
It's possible, but weather's bad everywhere. I just need sun. I didn't realize quite how much I needed the sun. And this leads me to my next point, Josh. Google AI, unbelievable. I don't need anything ever again but Google AI. I Google. All of my I'm terrified, right? I'm Googling. Can lack of sun cause depression? Google AI gives me a whole list. Yes, it can, but have no fear. When the sun comes back out, you'll be totally fine again. Google AI is literally just like a person with Munchausen's wet dream.
Yeah, I mean, there are certain light bulbs that you can get that will mimic the sun and give you some of those good feelings you're seeking.
What are you, my mom talking to me at 9 o'clock this morning? She
me
literally
and Ava
said
on
that
the same
to me.
page,
She said,
babe.
look
I'm
up
on
these
plenty
light
of
bulbs.
mom
They're not new.
forums. I'm
Yeah.
a 70-year-old Jewish mother.
Yeah, she just said they're not new. They exist. This is not a unique problem to you. You can absolutely solve it. Go and buy this light.
Ben, I love you so much, and you are a perfect boy. And the level in which you are sheltered sometimes is mind-blowing to me. And it's so cute that you thought seasonal affective disorder was created by you and only affected you.
I think that I've never heard it for a single week. Have you? I've heard it for long periods. Seasonal depression. I thought that was a whole season. I'm talking about week by week.
Yeah, people... Rainy days and Mondays always get me down.
Who sang
There's
that?
a
James
song.
Taylor? I love him.
Karen Carpenter.
Karen sounds like a real bitch.
I think it was Karen. Well, she's not with
you're
us
right.
anymore,
You're right.
so
Okay.
wow.
Fine. All that I'm saying is if you have seasonal depression, I see you. And I'm the new face of a
You're
new
the
drug.
face of seasonal depression.
Imagine this was all a big pharmaceutical ad.
Except there's no pharmaceutical for it because the sun comes out.
Eventually, by the way, Josh, it sounds like you're one of the toxic people that takes the sun for granted. Yeah, the sun will always come out until it doesn't.
Yeah.
Then what?
I think you need to leave New York City. I think it would change you in such a great way. It's a suffocating hellscape where you live.
We just need a new mayor. A mayor that doesn't let the sun not shine for a week. I'm just saying, if this was Bloomberg, he would have created the sun.
Well, okay, let's zero in, and you can't go to the typical places. You can't go to Miami, and you can't go to LA. Where? Okay, let me think. You can't go to Boston. Like,
Can't I just go to like Westchester, or you're saying I need to get out of the state?
You could do Westchester, but like, let's do something fun. Let's be weird. Like,
Okay.
Would you?
If I'm leaving New York, I like to be on the coast. You can't catch me inland. I don't want it.
So I'm thinking. Okay, fair enough. Joshy travel agent. Here we go. Savannah, Georgia.
Inland? No.
No, it's on the coast. Atlanta's inland.
Got it. I could fuck with Savannah.
Yeah,
Savannah's cool.
Sure could.
How many Jews are in Savannah?
Olivia's checking. Just Google Chabad Savannah.
I'm sure there's a Chabad, but I need a flourishing Jewish population.
About 4,000.
4,000. You could be the king of them. You'd be like a gang.
That's actually like, it's interesting. The fewer Jews, the more you can wrangle them. I sound like Hitler.
Oh my God. You know, that was the thing. We've talked about this, that after World War II, there were organizations that put Jewish communities in places you wouldn't expect, like Oklahoma, like random ass areas, so that, you know, we couldn't all be like, they couldn't just go to Long Island and be like, found them all.
Even though that's literally what happened.
Right.
This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by Robinhood Gold. With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows others to get the rates and perks usually reserved for the high society. Now, the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn the very liberal rate of 4.5% APY on uninvested cash, receive unlimited 1% deposit bonuses, and be rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on an IRA account. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply. For product-specific disclosures, visit robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risks. Rates may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold, LLC. This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by Quint. Folks, it's cozy season. We're here. It's chunky sweaters, cashmere, all that gorgeous, luscious material pressed against our fair skin. We made it. Fall's over. I'm throwing away my flip-flops. Okay, I still wear shorts during the winter. That's my thing, but I pair it, okay? I pair it with a beautiful cashmere sweater. And folks, if you're looking for a place to buy these gorgeous fall items, look no further than Quince, because Quince offers affordable, high-quality essentials for any wardrobe. That includes seasonal must-haves like Mongolian cashmere sweaters from $60 and comfortable pants for any occasion. Quint only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. And they partner with them directly, cutting out the cost of the middleman and passing the savings to you. That means Quint's items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands, so you can update your look without breaking the bank. Did you hear when I said Mongolian cashmere sweaters from $60? That's the type of pricing you can expect on Quince. And folks, you go on quince.com and you just shop. You shop like you're delirious because everything is so well priced. You end up ordering 1,000 things. I love it. Their cashmere is like butter. Highly recommend. Go on, try it, and the price just simply can't be beat. It's a great deal every time. So folks, upgrade your wardrobe with pieces made to last with Quince. Go to quince.com/goodguys for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's quince.com/goodguys to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/goodguys.
What else is coastal?
Yeah, Savannah's interesting. I'm trying to think what else is down. That's if I want to be southeast. What about
What about, would you ever do like, I mean, you can't live in Cape Cod. You're not going to live in Maine. I know you. You're not a Maine guy. Newport? What'd you say, Olivia?
Virginia Beach.
Virginia Beach?
That sounds nice. I
Newport,
could sip a
Rhode
mojito
Island?
on the Virginia Beach.
Newport, Rhode Island. Lovely.
Lovely. Rhode Island is lovely. But if I'm going to be northeast, I'm going to stay where I am.
Right.
I'd need
No,
to
I
leave
get
the
that.
northeast.
It's Savannah, babe. It's Savannah. I cracked it.
What about Yeah, okay. I'm going to move to Savannah.
I don't know where I make sense except for Los Angeles. And
You make sense in Canada.
Yeah,
You're Canadian.
I'm so Canadian. It's crazy. I'm Tim Hortons. I'm watching the fucking Leafs, and I'm like protesting Justin Trudeau. Bang.
Yeah. You're
Put
you're
it in
Canadian.
the bank.
You're Canadian. I'm trying to think of where in Canada.
Vancouver. It's the only place to live.
The Couves. Is that what they call it? The Couves?
They should.
I'm going to the Couves.
Van City.
Wow, that's cool.
Famous Vancouver nights. Seth Rogen, Ryan Reynolds, Seth Rogen.
Those
you know
are.
what I'm
I mean,
saying?
that's a good list.
It's not bad.
No, those are two. It's a good list.
We've talked
Honestly,
about
anything Ryan Reynolds does, I'm in. That guy's a genius.
the guy can't lose.
No, he's one of the few that really just has figured it out. He's like a rock. He's underratedly like the Rock.
Maybe Ryan Reynolds is Mint Mobile. You and I start a wireless carrier. We're Mint Chip Mobile.
I'm in. I like it. It sounds delicious.
Like, hey, we're going to overcharge you for wireless, but you're going to get free ice cream. That's not terrible.
No.
Limited data. That'd be so,
And then we sell all the data back to the semaglutide companies so they know who to shoot.
yeah, that's so different.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
What? Okay, this is a fun question. I feel like we need to reinvent the ice cream shop slightly. Now,
Okay.
we're always doing flavors, right? You go to some artisan Brooklyn place, they're like, we have blue cheese, we have Caesar salad ice cream. You're like, fucking miss me, brother. Oh, we have rosemary and Gen Z Tears ice cream. You know, it's great. You know, I'm not a fan. I think they need to have standard flavors, but we need to recreate the vessel because I'm not sure the cone is really coming through in the end for us.
I think that Cold Stone had it right. That is the best way to approach an ice cream shop. I just think that they made it a little bit too complicated.
Okay.
Like, you don't need to do it in front of me. You can easily blend it. Like, you can have a blender Like, just take the scoop of vanilla, the scoop of chocolate, the Twix bar, the Milky Way, put it in a blender, pulse once, take it out, and give it to me. I don't need, like, this, like, cold marble, these shovels, the show, all that. I think they did a little too much. But the perfect ice cream shop is you get it your way. However you want it, it's yours. And of course, we have recommendations on the walls. We have bestsellers, all that stuff. I think that's the best way to do it. To your point about the cone, I agree that there's something missing. I don't know what it is.
I know it. And no one's talking about it.
There's something missing.
And I'm over it.
There's something missing. There is.
There is.
What if cones almost came like oyster crackers, Josh? Where you get a little bag
Keep talking.
Little cones, okay? And you're dipping your cone in the ice cream and putting it into your mouth. It's almost like chips and salsa. You couldn't have your ice cream couldn't be too hard. It would need to be soft. But imagine that dip. It's almost a Tostitos scoop, but in the flavor of a waffle cone.
I like that. I
think that's fucking sick.
I love that. What if they made one cone that was a gigantic sprinkle? Okay?
Wow.
The whole thing is one giant Jimmy, baby. And so as you're taking bites, you're just getting a sprinkle hit with every one.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
That's good. A sprinkle banana boat, and then you're piling the scoops in there. Or like, what about just like a waffle cone that has been dipped in like a score bar, like an English toffee dip? What about just English toffee under the ice cream?
How about we take all the work that we've done on the apple dipping? People who dip apples, they really dip. They go caramel. Right. They go all these different variations of nougats and pralines and all this crap. We apply that to the cone business.
Right.
We just need some invention. We need some thought leadership. We need somebody to get behind this.
Is a fancy apple dip a show of wealth?
Yes, and a lack of care for your dentist.
But it's like, because you're at an event. No one's coming home from a long day and is like, babe, I picked up dipped apples.
Imagine you came home. Paige, I brought 3 caramel apples. Leave! The
guy swung by the applery and got a couple fucking dipped apples. That's nuts.
This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by Jack Black. Folks, look, we're working out. We're playing golf. We're walking up and down the streets. We're pacing. We're taking phone calls. You know what happens when you do all those things? We get sweaty. And if you're not wearing the proper deodorant, you get smelly, which is why Jack Black is here. Folks, I'm hooked. I'm completely hooked. First thing that got me hooked, the name Pit Boss. Whoever named a deodorant Pit Boss, you just feel cool when you put it on. And they come in so many different smells. Pit Boss, my favorite right now is the bamboo and violet, but they have tons to try. Tons. And if you haven't tried them before, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. For those ladies listening, get Jack Black Pit Boss for your husband, for your boyfriend. It's amazing. Honestly, try it for yourself if you want to. I used to wear ladies deodorant before I found Jack Black's Pit Boss, okay? So you could try it for yourself. It really is amazing. I used it this morning. I love it all the time. It makes me feel just manly, and smell great. I woke up today feeling just out of sorts, but then I remembered, folks, that I have the opportunity to put on my Jack Black deodorant, my violet and bamboo. It is fantastic, the Pit Boss scent. So, folks, if you want simple, effective products that do what they say they're going to do, you need Jack Black. Head to getjackblack.com/goodguys and use code GUYS10 for 10% off your order and free shipping. Once again, that's getjackblack.com/goodguys for 10% off your order plus free shipping. And make sure you use my promo code GOODGUYS so they know I sent you. This episode of the Good Guys podcast is brought to you by Mint Mobile. With big wireless providers, what you see is never what you get. Ain't that the truth? Somewhere between the store and your first month's bill, the price you thought you were paying magically skyrockets. With Mint Mobile, you'll never have to worry about gotchas ever again. When Mint Mobile says $15 a month when you purchase a 3-month plan, they mean it. We've all had issues with wireless providers, okay? That happens. What's not acceptable is these charges, these surcharges. Okay, maybe you messed up on my service, but you're charging me triple? Where did this come from? This is truly, what are you, nuts? So folks, say bye-bye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you with premium wireless plans starting at $15 a month. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and bring your phone number along with all your existing contacts. Ditch overpriced wireless with Mint Mobile's deal and get 3 months of premium wireless service for just $15 a month. So folks, to get this new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/goodguys. That's mintmobile.com/goodguys. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/goodguys. $45 upfront payment required, equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions apply. See Mint Mobile for details.
In the spirit of dipped apples, did you know that migraine sufferers are using vibrators on their heads to relieve pain? But is it worth all the buzz? The New York Post reports that pounding headaches can be agony. But there's an X-rated DIY cure that's tucked away in your nightstand drawer. About 82% of American women own a vibrator. Whoa. Which are now being used in an unorthodox way by migraine sufferers. While orgasms might be able to satisfy a headache, people are applying sex toys directly on their noggins in order to ease the pressure and pain from migraines. And one desperate user wrote on Reddit where they admitted to using their Hitachi wand vibrator. Cleaned, obviously. Wow.
I want to jump back to the 82% of women own a vibrator.
I'm so happy for them.
Me too, but like we don't have any cool tools.
None.
Zip.
If you're a guy...
And if you have one of our tools, you should be in prison.
Yeah, you should be on a list.
Like our tools are the inflatable doll, jail.
Oh my God, a fleshlight, jail.
Jail. Like a sock, what are you, 6? Like,
yeah.
Our tools are jail. They're
a microwaved cantaloupe.
82% use them to stop migraines. Like you talk about unfair.
It's nuts. Men should not be going near any sort of yeah.
Should we, Josh, reinvent the male tool?
Go on.
All right, we're out. We're not doing that.
There are, I mean, I think there are other options, and yet still, there's just something about it. There's a stigma, and I think it's a good one.
Is there like a mechanical hand, like almost like from the Addams Family, that just like
I think if they're
tickles
getting
the scrotum?
I think if they're getting into robotics, they're not going for scrotum attention. That's how you get fired from the sex toy company. You're like, all right, guys, hear me out.
I'm gonna throw up.
I've been working 6 months on a scrotum hand. They're like, you're fired, Bill.
Oh my God. As a migraine sufferer, I would try it. What would you do if you came to my house I'm laying on my couch and I have a dildo pressed against my forehead.
Oh my God. I would be like, tracks. The problem is that if
You'd
you
be like,
did-
that's cool, but have you tried my scrotum hand tool?
you would have to print out that news article from the Post, because every time someone discovered your vibrator, you'd be like, no, it's for migraines. And they'd be like, I'm so sure.
Yeah.
I swear.
Yeah, here, paper. Check it out.
It's, migraines are the worst, aren't they?
Awful. And if you've never had them, I found this out recently. You know, there are people that have never gotten a headache.
No.
Yes. Not everybody gets headaches.
I get headaches every other day.
This is what I'm saying. I used to. Now they're much better. I used to get headaches every day. I would be taking Advil every day. I used to get migraines all the time. And I will say, credit Ozempic, since losing weight, or maybe just since weight loss, my headaches have gone down significantly.
Wow.
But there are people that don't get headaches.
You know me, I'm TM Joshy. I got plenty of TMJ, bruxism as it's called, teeth grinding, clenching all day, all night. So, I mean, it kills I have such bad headaches.
Yeah, that's not good. We got to fix it. You have a bite plate?
I do have a night guard. It's super cute. And sometimes I wonder too, like if I'm like, I'll throw it in because now I just feel like I'm going into the big game. You know, it feels like a mouth guard that I'm wearing for like my Division I football team. And so I'll throw it in case I fall asleep while I'm like watching a show with my wife. And then, you know, the off night that maybe she wants to canoodle, I then have to go, oh, for sure, just 1 second. Like I have to take it out. And I'm like, that is not sexy.
There was, when I had TMJ for a minute, there was a trick that I did. Do you ever try this? You basically pull open your mouth. And you hold. Yeah, hold that for 10 seconds.
Okay.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel better?
Maybe. I don't feel worse.
No, it's a jaw stretch. It stretches it out. A jaw stretch.
Get the thumbnail. Get the thumbnail, guys. Screenshot this.
And I'm just saying, if you're not watching on YouTube, then you didn't see my tonsils that have been removed since I was 6 months old.
Wow, 6-month-old tonsil removal. Tell me you're Jewish without telling me you're Jewish.
I couldn't breathe. At 6 months, 99% of my airwaves were just cut off.
I'm just imagining you hear the nursery rhymes from your little crib, and it's like, rock-a-bye, baby.
Isn't Ben so cute?
Poor little thing. I told you the story when I got a migraine, my one and only migraine.
No.
I was in the desert with my wife and her family. They were going to Stagecoach.
I'm sorry. 1 second. There's just something weird that you Californians do where you just throw around desert as if it's not like when an East Coaster says they were in the desert, I think of the Sahara.
It's a proper desert, but you know what the East Coast equivalent is? I was in the country.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yes.
So you say the country, we think you're in an episode of Yellowstone. Like,
yes.
Where you're actually
Yes.
30 minutes outside the city.
Yes. Continue.
This episode of the Good Guys Podcast is brought to you by Hero Bread. You know, folks, we love Hero Bread at the Good Guys Podcast. That's because we're always looking for healthy alternatives that actually taste great. It's very, very hard. It's hard to take a white bread that tastes delicious and has like 9,000 calories and so much sugars and so much preservatives and all this crap and make it taste great. But that's exactly what Hero Bread has done. And they offer a wide variety of products: breads, wraps, rolls, buns, really anything that you're looking for in the bread category, they have. But it's better and it's healthier, and you have to try it if you haven't. Hero Bread reinvented bread and buns. It's as simple as that. And you only get it once you try it because they're fluffy, they're delicious, and they have the same texture as regular bread, except somehow there's no net carbs, 0 grams of sugar, fewer calories, protein, and fiber. It's really unbelievable. Their products are amazing, and they taste so good. If I'm making a grilled cheese, I'll use their white bread. If I'm making my smash burger tacos, I'll use their tortillas. They're amazing, they're soft, they're delicious, but they're good for me. They're good for you. They're good for everyone. The texture is exactly the same as normal bread. Identical. Or normal tortillas. They're soft and fantastic. And they're just better for you. They're much better for you. So if you haven't tried them before, I highly recommend that you do. So folks, keep the carbs out of your diet without compromising flavor with Hero Bread. Get 10% off your order at hero.co, HERO.co, and use code GoodGuys24 at checkout. That's GoodGuys24 at HERO.co.
So we were in Palm Desert for Stagecoach, and I was not there to watch the concert. I was just there to enjoy with the family, and so I left like a day early. And I'm driving home, and I remember that my favorite restaurant, Soup Dumpling Restaurant, the famous soup dumpling place, it's like in between LA and the desert. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna go. I just love it, and I have all my favorite dishes. And I drive back, and as I'm like 10 minutes away from my buddy's house, I feel the migraine come on, and I had never felt anything like this. So much so that as I'm pulling up, I open the door and I throw up because I'm so like, I'm so disoriented. And it hit me so hard that I had to sleep at his house. I couldn't drive anymore. Luckily, I made it to his house. And so I tell my mother, and she's like, I've made an appointment at the neurologist. We are going to nip this in the butt. So I go to the neurologist, and I've never been through such a thorough exam. I mean, all these, questions, and then checking reflexes and balancing, and just like checking each hemisphere of my brain and making sure everything's working correctly. And we talked for an hour, and he's like, yeah, I'm just not sure. Like, put me through the gamut. And then offhandedly, he goes, what did you have for lunch that day? And I said, Chinese food. And he goes, that's it. And I was like, what? And he's like, sometimes it's the sodium. Sometimes if that particular restaurant uses MSG, he's like, we've seen that it can trigger a migraine. He's like, so that's probably the best guess as to why you got it. Never gotten it since. And I eat plenty of Chinese food.
And you eat plenty
so
of
maybe
Chinese
this neurologist was a xenophobe.
I'm fairly certain that you probably got it from like the bright lights at Stagecoach, no?
I didn't go to Stagecoach, but you're right. I think I could have also just been dehydrated from the desert and ate too much salt, and it was a bad mix.
I'm out on it being from one Chinese food meal. I'm out. That's the diagnosis, and then he fucking bills the insurance provider. Nope.
Whoa,
scam.
You don't think he got on the group chat with his buddies and he was like, got another one?
Yeah, scam. Scam.
Well, we have another story here, and it's a good one, trust me. And that is that I found a stranger sleeping under my house, and then I confronted her. What she found in her crawl space is enough to make your skin crawl. Someone's been living under my house, an Oregon homeowner announced on Reddit. The woman, known only to her audience as Spring Chicken, was tidying up the yard earlier this week when she noticed that the hatch to a small underground compartment of her 113-year-old abode had been suspiciously unlocked. Upon investigating the curious breach, the gal discovered a makeshift bed complete with a purple and pink blanket and several bags filled with a stranger's personal effects. I don't think it's been slept in super recently. She was pretty unalarmed. And then another woman said that she found an ex-convict had been living beneath her floorboards. Yeah. Randos sleeping under your house.
I would freak out.
Yeah.
But she handled it like a champ.
It's brother. Are you
I would
What?
freak the fuck out and move. They could take my house.
Yeah, you say well played. Here's the
You win.
deed.
You win. Here's the deed. Do people still do deeds?
I mean, I think they're more figurative deeds. I don't know if they're
Like, do
quite
you have a
literal.
deed to your house?
I think so.
You do?
Yeah.
Give him the deed. You don't want it anymore.
Take my
You don't want
deed, dude. Should we do a speak pipe?
Yeah, please.
If you want to ask us a question or get advice, only those two things. Go to speakpipe.com/goodguys and we will answer. Probably, maybe. Keep it brief. Brevity is key. Here's, like Ben's middle name, Morgan.
Hey, good guys. Love the pod. Settle a debate for me and my husband. We live in the Midwest, so there's not always privacy fences around our houses. We don't have any fencing between our neighbors and the backyard, so theoretically they can see into our house. Now, I like to walk around without pants sometimes, oversized t-shirt or sports bra and shorts. He thinks I need to stop doing this in case they look in. Now, I'm in the camp where it's my house, I can do what I want, look at your own risk. He thinks this is disrespectful. What do you guys think?
I love that you asked this question because I often have this debate with my wife because I walk around the house nudie Judy.
Nude? Fully nude.
Not always, but sometimes I will get out of the shower and I'll just like forget that I'm nude and like I'll go and like answer an email.
Like, I'm just imagining you on the bed with your schwanz put like you like. And
Yeah.
this area,
No, it's possible that
this area
I have
is fully
yeah.
in view. Oy vey.
And she always says, "What if the neighbors see? Put on some clothes." And all that I say is, "Let them watch. Take a picture, post it online. What's the worst that can happen? I get paid in a lawsuit? Like, what are you worried about? It's illegal. I'll get money."
Word up.
Right? What am I missing?
I've never heard of anyone hoping for revenge porn.
I'm not hoping. I'm saying it is if that's the only downside, that I fall into a sack of cash, I'm in.
Okay.
And just know, if you're fucking taking pictures of me naked, I'm going to sue your ass.
I mean, this woman, I understand her wanting to walk around full Winnie the Pooh in her house, and I really don't have any issue. I don't mind seeing other people, and I don't mind people seeing me. It is what it is. I know that I'm a California 7, but I'm a Louisiana 9, so drink it in, kids. Drink it in.
I have no issues. I also think her husband doesn't want her walking around her own house in a sports bra and shorts. What do you want her wearing? A tuxedo?
Well, you could draw the blinds.
Sure, but like, you're in your house. You want that sun.
I agree. And the sports bra and shorts, like, it is like people work out in wilder things than that.
Much wilder. I sometimes work out naked.
Wow. This next one's from Anonymous.
Hey, good guys. Big moron and toaster here. Husband is actually a big moron as well, but weirdly never listened to the podcast. Question about
So he's
having your
just a
first
moron?
baby. So we moved away from our hometown over 6 years ago. Don't live by any of our best friends, immediate family. How do we go about acquiring gifts for said first baby without having a baby shower, without being tacky as hell? Everyone's telling me just send it out, send it to people. I feel like blasting an email being like, hey, we want all this shit just seems odd, but also babies aren't cheap and again, need a lot of stuff. So wondering how you would go about that. Would you just not do anything and hope for the best, hope that the people love you and are going to give you stuff? Or would you somehow work it into natural conversation? Need some advice. Love you guys. Thanks.
You're as nuts as the intro said that you would be. Me and I'm a big fan. My husband, he doesn't listen. I don't need to know that he doesn't listen.
No,
and also, if
she
you
said
moved
he
away,
does, right,
what'd you say?
Olivia?
I think she said he was a moron but never listened to the podcast.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
Oh, then he's just a moron.
that's what I said. He's just a moron. And also, I didn't need to hear this. It's like we talk about this all the time. Like somebody will come up to you on the street. Oh, my sister's wife is a huge fan. I'm not though. Okay.
Right.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. I digress. You moved away. You left your family in the dust. Sorry. They don't need to send you gifts. If it's not close enough for them to come over and hand you a gift, you can't expect anything. You can let people know, hi, I gave birth. I'm so excited. Or, hi, I'm pregnant. So excited. And then them on their own volition can buy you things if they love you. But this expectation that people should buy you presents when you've moved away, sorry, I'm out.
Yeah, I agree. You certainly can't. Unfortunately, if you don't have a baby shower, you're not setting yourself up to win here. But I do believe in the village aspect of things and how damn expensive kids are, and that it really is beautiful when, like, I have a good buddy, Matt, who's about to, his baby's about to be born in October, and he basically got everything he needed from his family and friends, which I think is just lovely and wonderful if possible. I think you can make a list, like an Amazon wish list or something, and when the people who love you ask, then say, yeah, we put together a little list, no pressure, but because you can't just like improvise with kids' gifts. You don't know if you're going to get the stroller they want, if you're going to get the diaper table they want. So if you want to buy someone a gift, you want their list. Have the list in case people ask, but you can't send it out.
Agreed. You can definitely not email blast the list. Hey, we're pregnant. Here's my list. That's nuts.
That's fun, though.
It is fun. It's chutzpah.
It's chutzpah. All right, last one from Erin.
Hi, Josh and Ben. Huge moron here. My fiance Anthony is actually a newfound moron, and we absolutely love that for him. We just recently booked our wedding venue, which is a summer camp in the Pocono Mountains. It's so exciting and gorgeous, and we can't wait. Neither of us actually went to camp growing up, so we really need to figure out any and all camp essential activities, games, anything that makes camp memorable to fill an entire weekend since we'll be there from Thursday to Sunday. Any suggestions that you guys have would be absolutely appreciated. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say, and maybe if you give us a good enough idea, we'll send you some save the dates and invitations. All right, love you guys. Bye.
What are you
can't
holding the
make
invite
it.
over my head? You'd be lucky for me to fucking show up.
I'm unavailable. I went home early from camp when I was a kid. I'm not going back.
No, but it sounds like a really fun idea. But Josh,
Does
we'd
it?
be remiss not to mention that's back-to-back people mentioning that their husbands are getting on board with this podcast. I'm just saying that's how it really starts, folks. You guys were here from the beginning. Now we're the biggest podcast in America, and tomorrow will be the biggest podcast worldwide.
It's a fucking groundswell.
That's how it fucking starts. It starts with the women because men are so stupid.
Idiot
It starts
men.
with the women. They're like, "Ooh, yeah, I'll try something new," and then the
Dumb
men hear and they're
dudes.
chuckling and they're like, "Oh, I'll listen by myself." That's
That'll
how it
be our
fucking
other
starts,
pod,
Josh.
Dumb Dudes.
That's how it fucking starts. Yes. Okay. I just literally broke my wrist. Like it shattered. I just like hit something in this chair. Okay, so what the fuck did she ask before she told us that we'd be lucky
camp
to come to her wedding?
essentials. I'll tell you what an essential is: bug spray. This whole thing sounds way too much, but you know, s'mores, pool, maybe a little ultimate frisbee. I assume there's a lake. I don't know.
When did she say she was getting married? What season is this?
a Christmas camp wedding? Can you imagine?
Yeah, okay, so the lake will be frozen.
Right. Ice skates.
Yeah, you could, and then somebody drowns.
It doesn't sound.
This wedding I went to was so great. We all went ice skating. 3 people drowned.
Should we cut this out? Because we're just going to shit on her wedding.
No, I like it. This is what happens when you leave a shit speak pipe.
She's getting married
No, I'm
in the
kidding. I'm
Poconos.
kidding.
They're
I'm
really
kidding. Look,
high on
it. Sounds lovely. Mazal tov to you. We were on your side until you said you'd be lucky to be invited to our wedding. And that said, you should bring bug spray. I agree. You should. S'mores is a great thing that Josh said. Alcohol, plenty of alcohol. Maybe some other fun goodies. Like, it would be really cool if everybody walked in and you had like joints on a tray or like mushrooms on a tray. Like, let everybody like really like go into the elements. Maybe you have a shaman and everybody trips and everybody's like, was I at a wedding or was I at like some hallucinogen festival? Yeah, that's cool. I'm into that idea. Drugs.
Love it. I say go for it. Enjoy yourself. Maybe you do the fun things you look forward to at camp. Everyone gets like a care package and you like, and you fill it with snacks and like fun sundries.
Or you force your entire wedding party to swing. Everybody gets assigned someone new because camp's all about new sexual activities. So assign husbands, wives, husbands, husbands, and just see what happens. Like, everybody gets a new bunkmate.
Love that. And if your camp is anything like Ben's camp, you can daven in the mornings. Have a nice morning
Make
prayer.
sure that everybody prays in the morning and shtups in the evenings.
So aggressive. Let's get to our What Are You Nuts? Our What Are You Nuts moment of the week, or our gripes with people, places, and things. Anything currently sticking in our craw at the moment. Mine is, my What Are You Nuts moment is sending the waiter away. Ooh. What Are You Nuts? Let me tell you something. If you're going to a restaurant, any kind of restaurant where you're excited, where you really want to take a good gander at the menu, look at it before you go. Decide what you're going to order before you go. You can listen to a special. You can make maybe a Hail Mary, a off-the-cuff decision, but you better know. Because if that waiter comes over and goes, let me give you a few more minutes, you failed. What are you, nuts? I was once at, they sent the waiter away 3 times. Oh, I'm sorry, we're talking. I never said, I haven't even looked, we're talking. What are you, nuts? Order. Order immediately. Order when you sit down. Order with the drinks. And then you can spazier. You can do whatever you want for the rest of the time. Take your time. Put the order in. What are you, nuts?
This is an excellent What Are You Nuts? Excellent. It's completely nuts. Completely nuts. Also, Josh, how do you know that you're ever going to see the waiter again?
So true.
Sometimes you tell them to go, and then they go on break.
They could be a type A waiter and come back 2 minutes later, or they could be a total degenerate and you won't see them for another 25 minutes.
Ever again. Oh, they don't want me? Cool. Peace.
Yeah.
Scary. My What Are You Nuts moment is I was on my way to a wedding about a week ago. And I get in the front seat of the car. And my Uber driver turns to me and says, I know you. I'm like, oh my God, you know my podcast? Like, I'm thinking that to myself, oh yeah, of course. He's like, yeah, I know you from TV. And I'm like thinking like, okay, maybe he like just doesn't know the difference between YouTube and TV. I'm like, yeah. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I love you, George. And then I'm like, huh, what could this guy possibly be thinking? And I was wearing my glasses. And he's like, yeah, I love your politics. And I'm like, oh my God, this fucking Uber driver thinks I'm George Santos. What are you, nuts? What are you fucking nuts? Okay? Like, get out of here with that shit. I don't look like him. I don't. Like, maybe if you're blind, and if you're blind, you shouldn't be driving my Uber. Okay? You blind bastard. It was insane. It was truly insane. I couldn't believe it. George Santos. And the worst part, I love your politics. What are you, sick?
I love the way you steal.
Like,
at least
man's in jail. I love your politics.
At least he didn't say that you look like George Santos's drag character.
Yeah, well,
what's
it's
his
all
drag
one and the
persona?
same to me. What'd you say?
What's George Santos's drag persona?
I don't
Speaking
know.
of
Let's
Google
see.
AI.
What's George Santos?
It's like Lady Scarlet.
Drag name.
Katara Ravash.
Katara Rabash?
Ravash.
Oof,
I'm
that's
in.
good.
Fine.
You don't look like George Santos, but that's it.
And that's our podcast. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe.
Well, don't end it on a downer. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe to me and George. Check us out on
This
YouTube,
episode,
Spotify,
5
everywhere
stars.
where you get podcasts. 5 stars. I mean,
Otherwise, what are you, nuts?
Ben's George Santos bit and the candied apples. What more could you want?
It's impossible. You're definitely not getting this content anywhere else. All these podcasts are the same. This is different. We both are truly mentally unwell, and we're putting that on display for you twice a week, Mondays and Thursdays. Watch our clips, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us on both those platforms, even though we're mega and we don't need your followers. But you could still follow us
true.
anyways, okay? Share the clips, and we'll see you next time.
Love ya.